on here and be live a little bit more. So, want to speak about anxiety and really come to it at a spiritual level that many are feeling anxiety and many that are empathic and on a higher state of consciousness and feel other people's anxiety as well as their own. So, and just simply saying let it go it doesn't work. It's a bypass, it's a deflection of how you truly feel. What you feel is real. So, what can we do? What can we do to deal with that anxiety? And for myself, what I've noticed is the anxiety with the way everything is right now, really for me, and from people that I've worked with, comes from a place of not being present in and now. And what do I mean by that? So, we start to get out of the present moment, we start to worry about the past. Uh, we're our mind, we're in our head, we're out of the present moment. Spiritually, we're not being present, we're not feeding energy and intent to that present moment. So you're either in the present, you're in the past, or you are in the future, what may be, the what if, the speculation. So as we see, as we move forward and progress, there's so much that's unknown, right? And if you're not taking a stance that all is for my highest and greatest good, I know everything's going to be okay, and it's hard. It can be a bypass sometimes, right? We can just say that out. Oh, all is for your highest and greatest good. Maybe you don't feel like it though. You can't just ignore the way that you feel. How you feel is real. So for me, bringing myself back to that present moment always helps alleviate the stress and brings the strength back, and I can focus on what I'm focused on. I can get outside of my head, outside of myself to see myself. I can do it without judgment. I can see where I'm at. Am I stuck in the past? I'm worried about something that already happened, right? Something that has already played out and happened and probably different from the scenario that actually happened. As my mind changes it, we know quantumly as soon as it observes, you're observing it, it's changed. Excuse me. And with the way many things feel right now, people are worried about the future. Worried, they're upset. Their mind is set on a speculation mode. What if? What could be? All over social media, all you're seeing, much love, all you're seeing is a speculation. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next month? Who's going to be there? When is the 3 days of darkness going to happen? When's ascension going to happen? When's rapture going to happen? All these different things. And we're out of the present moment. And there's a time and a place for all things, right? There's a season for all things. All things come to pass. Both spiritually, religiously, otherwise, all these things are converging. But right now, for myself and for many that I'm coming across, being anywhere other than the present moment is somewhere that's not the best place to be, at least for me and some of the people that I've spoken with. So when we look at the way, the path is narrow, the middle way, the way of the way, and the middle way, the middle path. I'm not in the past worried about what was or how I could have changed it or what may happen because of this and that, or am I going to lose my job because I said this to the wrong person last week, or are we worried about the future? Who's going to be the president? Who's going to, will I still have a job? Can I pay my rent? This, that, and other. All these things, all these mind heavy density things. Much love. I appreciate you. And that's really what I want to pass on to anyone that comes across this. I challenge myself as well. I'm no different than you. I'm a beautiful, infinite being of light and soul, just like you are. And sometimes we have to face our own darkness and our shadows within ourselves. That's why we want to cast our shadow. And we don't want to hate the darkness. We all have darkness. We all have darkness. I love and appreciate you guys. So what we want to try to do is be present. So anytime that you're feeling anxiety, I love this. The Guru speaks on this too. Anytime you're feeling anxiety, put your hands together and think upon what you're grateful for in that moment. You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes and look at thankful for this beautiful nature out here, this calmness, this stillness. Bring yourself back to center and let go of what was and let go of what could be, because those two processes of thought are pulling your consciousness into this direction or that direction rather than being grateful in the moment. When you can get grounded in gratitude for that moment, that stillness, that presence of divine source, and the one flows through you as it flows through all things, then we can forgive ourselves and others, and we can have unconditional love for ourselves and others. And then when I can see the all in me, I can see the all in you. And it's very important because right now we don't want to hate or lash out at the ones that cannot see God, divine source, the great spirit, the all, the infinite soul, whatever construct, the Krishna consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature. If they cannot see them in themselves, they cannot see it in you. I can only meet you as far as you have met yourself. So if we come across others that are projecting their pain and their shadow onto you, it's because the light of awareness hasn't shined onto them yet. The light hasn't switched on. And we cannot switch that light. We can bring the horses to water, but we can't beat them to drink. And you're either, we spoke about this yesterday, you're either unable, which you can move through, and unable as there's things in your life that are making it hard for you to awaken and shine a light of consciousness. That's okay, that's great to work with, or you're unwilling. What I want to ask you today is, are you unwilling to let go? Are you unwilling to see the all because you haven't seen it in yourself? So let go of the unwillingness. Let go of your anxiety. Stop holding on to the past. Doesn't mean we have to forget. People will forgive, but I'll never forgive. Or I'll never forget. You don't have to forget, but you don't have to hold on to it. You forgive and you let go, and you know you've learned and grown, and you won't go there again. But we let go of it. We don't keep revisiting and revisiting. The present moment's called a present because it's a present. Be thankful in the moment and ground and realign into this. Be grounded into the moment. And if you take this, when you feel anxiety, that anxiety is going to be a couple different things. At least for me it is. It's either what happened in the past or what may be in the future. And when I stop and I put my hands together and I stare upon this beautiful scene in front of me with my child or my outdoors or whatever that it may be, whatever my gratefulness is, whatever the spirits and guides I can feel, whenever I stop and I'm in stillness, I'm reinvigorated by source within me. That force, that energy, that chi, that being, that prana realigns to the divine and brings you back to a 0 point, that middle path, that middle way, so that when I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I fear nothing. But we need to take it even steps further, is that we don't want to be sucked into this division, because how we're divided in our mind between the future and the past is the same as how we're divided in the thinking of this or the thinking of that. The dualistic nature of this 3D holographic matrix that we live in, that has been created through the ages and archons or whatnot, but it's an earth school. So the definition of insanity is continuously doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Well, you will not be provided a different result if you don't change the way you look at things. Things change when you change the way that you look at them. So instead of seeing only two ways, we have to transcend the duality. Not only in an external 3D world of the way people think, the left or right or red or blue or man and woman, but also in the past and the future, and quantumly the way that we look at time as a construct, that all things are happening all the time, and all is of the all. So I love and appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to come on more live because I really am starting to be called to do that again. I know it comes in waves for me, but I know there's a lot of anxiety out there, and I know that people are frustrated, and forgive them. But first you have to forgive yourself, right? And get realigned and centered in the divine it's easy to say let go. Oh, well, let go. Well, how do I do it? Well, you ground into the moment. You ground into gratitude. You get present, open-eyed, third-eyed meditation, gratitude, or close my eyes, gratitude for my being here, gratitude for my family, for my children, for whatever that it may be, for this book that I'm reading, for this serene view that I have. Ground into that moment, still breathe, let everything that's arising arise. We don't want to bypass or deflect how we feel, because what you feel is really, you've got to face that. You've got to face everything and rise. And if you don't, that fear will start to permeate within your life, and you'll start to align into a divided perspective of what the future could be, or you will sink back and withdraw and think about the past or how it was and what could have changed. So I really honestly love and appreciate you guys. I see you here, I feel you here, I can see it, and I know that when I truly am called to, I do continue to come on. And for a lot of people that know me for a while, I'm sorry, I feel bad. I know I shut down a lot of accounts that had a lot of people following, but it was a time to withdraw your energy, because sometimes words lose their power, especially if nobody's listening, and sometimes it's time to pull back. But I know and I feel it here, and that's real to me, and I appreciate it, and I love you, and I just want you to know that all these things are passing. All is for your highest and greatest good. Allow things to happen, surrender, choose that middle way, let go of the past. If it keeps coming up, allow it to come up and go like this. And it's okay to revisit. We're just not staying there, and then we just let it go by recentering in the moment. Don't get caught in the division of what could be and what was. Be in the present moment and flow like that water, and just be aware that in that moment, that's when Source is providing the messages and providing that real clarity and peace of mind in that moment. So I love you guys. Yes, I appreciate it. Um, really, what else can be said? I feel like right now that's kind of the message that I have. I know a lot of people have anxiety, so ground in that moment, put those hands together, right? Your right and left brain, your right and left duality in this meat suit that we have is just an avatar for an infinite living being. It's just a vessel that we put our water in and we pour out to others. So put those together, combine it all, realign with the divine within, and bring that without, and watch this whole reality shift and change. I love and appreciate you guys. Please have an amazing day. Much, much more to come. Much more to come.